Nintendo recently announced that for an annual subscription of $50, it will allow you to enjoy Nintendo 64 games on the Switch. Being a professional Nintendo hater and an emulation on Android YouTuber, I took on the task of doing it better than them. And after running the games at 4K with Ultra HD textures at 60 FPS with local and online multiplayer while also being 100% portable and free, I think I can say we made it. What you're seeing here is what you read in the title. Straight from the beginning I can tell you that it is 100% real. You can do it from any Android smartphone you have out there. Logically, the more powerful the cell phone, the more things you can do. But even any recent low-end phone will run your N64 games equal to or even better than the Switch. Just so you can see the difference that power makes, in this video I will use my old cell phone, a Pocophone F1 that today can be obtained at a third of the cost of a new Switch. But let's talk about how the hell we get this up and running. The interesting thing about this setup is that you can adapt it to your needs and budget. Let's start with the simplest and cheapest. I could tell you that you simply need a cell phone because you can play N64 games with the on-screen controllers. But if you have never done it, the first essential purchase to emulate correctly on Android is a good gamepad. There are multiple styles, sizes and prices, from the one that costs $10 to the ultra expensive ones of the current consoles. But the one that I recommend because it works for PC, Android, Switch and iOS is the GameSeer G4 Pro. This is an Xbox style controller. It even brings a clip for holding the phone and in my opinion it is the best quality for the price control to emulate. But even an ultra cheap one like this generic PlayStation style will serve you well. If it lasts a long time of course. The quality will never be the same, but if you are only interested in reducing cost, you could consider it. Now let's raise up the stakes. If you don't have an S8 or some Samsung cell phone from recent years that supports DeX mode, this little $15 adapter allows you to transmit the image from your cell phone to any monitor with HDMI input. It has three inputs, a micro USB, a USB Type-C and a USB Type-A that connects to a power source which in turn provides power to the device and at the same time will slowly charge your cell phone. Although the audio is only heard from the cell phone, I chose this model because the other ones on the market do not use the monitors fully. There is always a small cutout on the screen that is not usable. Whenever a video comes out recommending this adapter and I place a link, it doesn't take very long for it to run out of stock. That's why I'm always warning in my community tab when they are available so that you can buy them. If you are interested in getting one, I recommend that you subscribe and be very aware of my posts. With these levels you already have enough to enjoy an N64 Switch. You will have a great desktop setup and when you need it, it will become 100% portable so that you can continue playing wherever you want. But this is very simple, let's take it to the pro level. Level 3 focuses on unnecessary purchases, but I still highly recommend them so that you can enjoy the setup even more. Number 1, a cooler or a fan. It turns out that when you play for a long time on a cell phone, it tends to overheat. When this happens, all cell phones have a safety mechanism that decreases the frequencies, or for the bros out there, the speed of the revolution of the processor, including its GPU and CPU. This translates into the so known and hated lag. I very much doubt that this can happen with an N64 emulator, but if you're going to run it at 4K with Ultra HD textures, a fan of this type will not hurt at all. These ones that have a plate that cools down and makes contact with your cell phone, keeps it at an acceptable temperature and allows you to enjoy constant performance for a prolonged period of time. A benefit that becomes more important when you want to emulate a higher resolutions and especially when you want to experiment with other consoles, just like the last transformation when we turn our cell phone into a GameCube Pro. But you have to be very careful with this, because not just any trash from the flea market or AliExpress will work correctly. This one that I have right here is the GameSeer F8 Pro Snow Gun. I like it because it has an integrated stand and I can use it to play PUBG. But I know that it is quite expensive. It costs the same as a gamepad. They also say that the Xiaomi Phone Cooler Pro for the Black Shark works just as well and they are very cheap. But even if these seem expensive, then at least make sure that the one that you're gonna buy has a plate and it isn't one of those that produce a little breeze. Those are useful. Number 2, eventually you will want to invite your friends to enjoy games like Smash Bros 64, Mario Kart 64 or Mario Party. And you will need another gamepad. You can search for reviews of the GameSeer X2 Bluetooth or for the Flyee Apex 2, all of them are very good controllers. Number 3, you ask yourself, well Pete, but that only works connected to the electricity. How am I gonna charge the HDMI adapter, the fan and the several gamepads at the same time? Well, you can get yourself a multi-adapter dongle and problem solved. Having said that, the hardware part of the setup is complete. Now we are on to the most important thing, the software. How the hell did we go from this, which is the best that the original N64 can do, to this? The full potential 4K Ultra HD texture 60 FPS with online of the Master Race Android. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Moopon 64 Plus FC. This is the best emulator for the N64 that you can find on Android. It has two versions, one free and one pro, that bring certain things that make it worth the purchase. Francisco Zurita has done an excellent job and deserves all of our support, but if you can contribute money, a good rating is always welcome. But while having the application installed, I have to tell you that we also have levels for emulation that will depend 100% on the power of your device. For the novice level, any cell phone from the last 6 years will work for you. It is only a matter of getting the game you want, loading it, and voila! You will have the same performance and experience as in an original console. You do not need to configure absolutely anything. Although if you want to use a gamepad, it is as simple as connecting it to your cell phone via Bluetooth and it will work perfectly. Once you open the application, your gamepad will be recognized automatically and you will be able to play immediately without having to configure it. Also, if you want to enjoy multiplayer, you simply have to connect another control to the cell phone and add the buttons of the player 2 to it. Another interesting thing you can do if you do not have two controls is to divide a control so that one half corresponds to player 1 and the other to player 2. For the normal level, here I recommend a mid-range device from these last 3 years, because we will be playing a little with the cheats and resolutions. The first thing we will do is raise the resolution of the games. Imagine it as if it were the quality of a video on YouTube. Just as easy we can do it on this emulator. We can play it at 4K, but unless you have a 4K screen on your cell phone, I recommend that you set it up to 1080p or Full HD. At this resolution you will be making the most out of your screen and the difference in quality is quite evident. But another aspect that we must explore at this level would be the cheats. These, beyond being able to give you infinite coins or God mode, also have the ability to modify the games so that they run at a higher frame rate. You see, the vast majority of the N64 games did not run at the current standard of 60 FPS. Some, like Ocarina of Time, even ran at 20 FPS. Through the cheats, what we will do is take them to a much more enjoyable frame rate. These cheats are not available for all games. There are some titles that are designed to be played exclusively at the original FPS, and trying to modify these parameters makes them unplayable. However, many games work perfectly well. In my opinion, this configuration is the one that most modernizes the games of this console. Something that you should also look for are widescreen cheats for an enlarged screen. This allows for more elements to be visible during the game, taking advantage of the more modern 16:9 aspect ratio and leaving aside the old-fashioned N64 look. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's what everyone has been waiting for. I bring to you the pinnacle of N64 emulation. N64 Plus FC is an emulator so advanced that it allows you to not only run original games, but also ROM hacks. That is, modified titles that bring some extra content, such as, for example, this version of Mario Kart that allows you to run tracks from other games such as Diddy Kong Racing, or the acclaimed Legend of Zelda The Missing Link, a fun game with a AAA story quality very akin to the original Nintendo releases. But if that wasn't enough, there are other two things to highlight. Number one, although raising the resolution of the games does not improve the quality of all the in-game objects, this is something that you can easily solve by getting yourself a texture pack for the game you want. I must tell you that they are usually very heavy and not all of them are compatible with Android, but the ones that do work raise the quality of the games in an extraordinary way. Finally, in number 2, I want to highlight once again Francisco's ability, because N64 Plus FC Pro not only allows local multiplayer but also online multiplayer. It means that you will be able to play with another person who has the free version of the emulator. That is, if one of your friends who has the pro version that you can get at a fair price in the Play Store creates an online game, everyone who has the free version can join in and play from their cell phones connected to the same Wi-Fi network or from anywhere in the world. This last option only if all users have a Wi-Fi router with UPnP technology. In conclusion, definitely the N64 is better played on Android. If you liked the video and want to see more like this, leave me a like, subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks for staying here, but this has been all for today. I'm PJ Android and until next time.